Hi, I'm Brittany of Brittany Bendall Fitness. Today I have a beginner's Pilates routine for you. This Pilates routine is going to go over all of the basics of Pilates. Now, even if you're super fit and you've been working out for a long time, I highly recommend beginning Pilates with this beginner's practice because Pilates has very specific movements and concepts, and it's important to learn these before moving on to some of the more advanced exercises. This is a great workout to engage your core, learn about control, balance, and flow, some of the main Pilates principles. For this workout, you won't need any equipment, just your mat. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're gonna start with a little pelvic tilt. So I want you to think like you have a glass of water right here, right underneath your belly button. And I want you to dump that glass of water up towards your forehead. So you're gonna have to tuck your pelvis, curling it up towards you to dump that water towards your forehead. And then we're gonna relax it out, lifting that glass up, and we're gonna dump the water away from you now. So you're gonna arch through your back in order to dump that water out away from your forehead. And then coming back through center, tucking the pelvis, dumping the water towards you. Coming back through center, lifting up and arching through the back to dump the water away from you. Coming back through center. Keep going, relaxing your shoulders into the mat, tucking the pelvis, and then coming through center, arching through the back, lifting it up off the mat. Now I want you to find that place in the middle, the center of balance, where you're neither tucking nor arching, just allowing your spine to be neutral as if you're not doing anything. It's got a slight lift off the mat, but it's not arching, and you're not pressing the spine into the mat. This is our neutral position. Hug your abs in, pull the belly button to your spine, tuck those ribs in together like you're trying to knit them in, and feel how your whole core is engaged here. We're gonna start moving. So let's go ahead and lift the leg that's closest to me up off the mat and lower it back down. Switch to the other side, lift the leg up and lower back down. Now the key here is to maintain that neutral spine that we just found and to engage your abdominals the entire time. So pulling that belly button in towards the spine, knitting the ribs together, feeling how the whole core is engaged here as you lift and lower that leg. Really using the abs to help you float the leg up off the ground and then float it back down. It's really easy to go into the hip flexors here to lift and lower the leg, but what we want to do is engage the abdominals to help that leg come off the floor. And lower. One more time, lift and lower down. Okay, let's go ahead and lift one leg up, lift the other leg up. This is our tabletop position. Our knees are directly over our hips. Oftentimes we bring our knees into our chest, which is fine if you want to take a little bit of load off, but to make it a little bit harder, you can get those knees directly over your hips. We're gonna start prancing here. So you're gonna tap one toe down to the mat and lift, and tap the other toe down and lift. So again, pulling that belly button in, pulling in towards the spine and up, like you're trying to zip up a nice tight pair of jeans. Knitting those ribs in together, feeling how the whole front of the core is engaged here. Maintaining that neutral spine, so not feeling any arching or tucking. That water glass is nice and steady here. Just tapping one leg down and then the other. That's it. Let's do two more. And last one. Okay, we're gonna go to double prancing, tapping both toes down to the mat and lift up. Now your toes might not be able to touch the mat. That's fine. I want you to go to your point of control, which is the point where you feel those abs start to engage. You really feel that shaking start to happen. Those abs really working hard, but not allowing that back to arch. So remembering when we tipped the water glass away from us, how we arched our back up, we don't want that to happen here. We want to maintain that neutral spine. Now, it can be really easy to just work through the legs and the hip flexors here and tap your toes down and lift up, tap down and lift up, but that's not the move we're going for. And one of my clients recently asked me about that. And I said, make the move smaller, not bigger, and focus on moving the whole shape rather than thinking about bringing your toes to the mat. That's it. So keeping those toes in line with the knees as you lower. Engaging those abs, relax through the shoulders. One more time, and exhale up. Nice job. Let's go ahead and place one foot down and then the other foot down on the mat. Okay, lift those arms up overhead. Now notice if you automatically arched through your back and lifted those ribs up and apart. You want to go ahead and bring that back down, coming into your neutral spine, hugging those ribs together, pulling your abs in. We're going to exhale as we lift the head, neck, and shoulders up for our 100 prep. Inhale, lower everything back down. Exhale, press your arms against the air, curling up, keeping the chin off the chest, looking towards the knees. And lower back down, keeping those ribs in. One more time. Exhale, looking up towards those knees, pulling the abs in. Inhale, lower down. Keep the arms where they are. Lift one foot up, lift the other foot up, coming back into tabletop. You can always keep your feet down though and do another 3, or you can keep the feet lifted. And we're gonna exhale, lifting up, still looking towards those knees, and then lower down. Really think of resisting through the air with your arms. Engage those arm muscles, pull the abs in, lower down. One more time. Exhale, press up, look up. Inhale, lower down. Go ahead and lower your feet back down to the floor. One more 100 prep here to bring those arms down, lift the head, neck, and shoulders up, and we're gonna start pumping our arms vigorously as we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice strong breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. This is our 100. Keep pulling those abs in. This is a breathing exercise to help warm up our body. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Hold it here and then roll all the way back down. Just rock your head from side to side, releasing any tension in your neck. And you'll notice that we only did 50 reps there because we're still getting warmed up. This is beginner's Pilates. We have a ways to go to work up to that full 100. Nice job. Okay, we're gonna straighten our legs out on the mat for the roll up. Go ahead and flex your feet. Pull those abs in, knit the ribs together. Neutral spine here, no arching, no tucking. That water glass is nice and straight up to the ceiling. Lift the arms overhead. Notice if you pop those ribs out and tuck them back in. And we're gonna peel up off the mat. Inhaling, lifting the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhaling, rolling up, trying to glue those feet into the floor, and then reaching your fingertips super long, trying to reach them past your toes. And then pulling your abs away from your feet, pulling them back as you roll all the way back down. Exhaling, inhaling out. Okay, let's go again. Lifting up, whooshing the air out of your body as you roll all the way up, reaching those fingertips super long, pulling those abs back in opposition, and then rolling back one vertebrae at a time, coming down onto the mat. And extend overhead, keeping those ribs in. Last time, exhale, blow that air out as you lift up, reaching long. Feel a little stretch in the backs of your legs. And then pull those abs in, tucking the pelvis as you roll all the way down. Exhale the air out, bring your arms down. Bend your knees in and place your feet flat on the mat. We're gonna go into our bridges here. So we're gonna start with just like we did before, tucking our pelvis, pushing our spine into the mat, and then arching our back away from the mat, just like we did to find our neutral spine. Let's do that one more time. Tuck the pelvis, imprint your spine, and then arch through your back, lifting it up off the mat. Coming back into our neutral. Tuck your pelvis one more time, but this time lift your hips up slightly off the mat, pressing your feet into the mat. And then lower all the way down. As you do that, you'll feel your thighs begin to engage. Tuck the pelvis, pushing the spine into the mat, lift the hips slightly off the mat, and then lower, releasing the lower spine back onto the mat. One more time, tucking those hips towards you, dumping that water glass towards you, lifting your hips up slightly, pressing those feet into the mat, and then go ahead and lower all the way down. Now we're gonna lift all the way up. So start by tucking the pelvis, dumping that water glass towards you, lifting the hips up off the mat. And we're gonna keep going, peeling our torso off the mat, coming up into that bridge pose. Pushing your shoulders into the mat here. Pulling your abs in towards your spine. Keeping everything nice and long. Now, in yoga, we often pop our ribs and arch through our back to get a nice stretch. In Pilates, we want to keep our ribs tucked in, no arching through the back, and you want to create a nice diagonal line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. One straight diagonal line. Press your hands and your palms into the mat. Press all four corners of your feet into the mat, and then we're going to roll down slow with control, articulating through our spine, meaning one vertebrae down on the mat at a time. Coming back to that neutral position. Let's do that again. Tucking those hips, dumping the water glass towards you, lifting the hips slightly off the mat, and then coming all the way up. Lifting up off the mat, creating that nice diagonal line, pressing the feet and the hands into the mat, and then lowering back down. Feeling how much control and how much ab work is required to prevent that back from arching. Last time, tuck the pelvis, lift the hips, coming all the way up into our bridge pose. Hold it here. Keep pulling those abs in and up. Keep the chin lifted off the chest. And then roll all the way back down. One vertebrae at a time, releasing the hips, untucking, coming back into that neutral spine. Nice work. Let's go ahead and hug one knee into the chest now, giving a little stretch through our hip flexors, and then extend that leg up to the sky, just grabbing behind the leg where you feel comfortable. So maybe it's just behind the thigh, maybe it's behind the calf, maybe you can get your ankle. We're gonna stretch out the back of our leg here, the hamstring. Flex your foot, bringing those toes towards your forehead. Point your toe, and then bend your knee in. Again, lift that leg up. Flex your foot, toes towards the forehead. Point your toes, bend the leg in. As you do this, I want you to keep that spine flattened out. Don't tuck the pelvis and curl the lower back away from you like we did in bridge pose. You want to keep it long on the mat. Point the toe. Now hold it here. Float the arms down. Turn the knee out slightly towards me, and we're going to go into our single leg circle. So you're going to make small circles on the ceiling like you have a pen attached to your big toe, and you want to draw just little circles on the ceiling. So go ahead and cross the body, scoop down, around, and up. Cross the body, scoop down, around, and up. As you do this, try to keep your leg as straight as possible, but you can bend it if you need to. Last one. Now let's reverse directions. Take it out, down, around, and up. Try to keep the opposite leg still, your hips still. Your head, neck, and shoulders are heavy onto the mat. 2 more. And last one. Bend that knee in, place the foot down onto the mat. Let's switch to the other side. Hug your knee in, feeling a nice stretch through your hip flexors. Now extend the leg up, holding on where it feels comfortable for you behind the leg, feeling that stretch going down the back of the leg. Flex the toes towards your forehead, point the toes, bend the knee in. Again, pointing up, flexing the foot, pointing the foot, and bending in. One more time, point, flex, point, and hold here. Float those arms all the way down into the mat. Pressing down into the mat, allowing the head and the shoulders to sink in. Turn your knee out slightly away from me, and we're gonna start those single leg circles. So crossing the body, circling down, around, and up. Now you wanna keep your hips still and even if you can. So no rocking and rolling through those hips. Keep your circles small. Last one. Now let's reverse it. Pulling those abs in to maintain control. 3 more. 2. And 1. Nice job. Bend that knee in and place it down onto the mat. Hug your knees into your chest and just rock from side to side for a little release in the back. Taking a moment to relax before we move on.